What is going on, everybody? This is Gabriel Jones giving you a drop of sun any chance I get, and welcome to the second half of April. I've been feeling pretty jazzed about this half of the month. You know, we got the NHL playoffs, the NBA playoffs, all sorts of playoffs going on right now. I would love to buy tickets to a Knicks game, but SeatGeek is not offering me anything below $100, so I'm trapped here in Connecticut. But that shouldn't be a big deal because we are here to discuss some music today, and it seems like we got a lot of rock to discuss for this episode. I hope you got your electric guitars and drumsticks out because it's about to get really hardcore today. I'm loving it. More specifically, we got some folk rock to discuss with our newest album that has come out recently. Plus, we got our For to Blast and our Artist on the Rise, the usual stuff. Now, while we are going to have some music discussion for today, I also want to take this opportunity to promote one last charity for the month. This is my final installment for the Melting the Ice event that I've been doing all throughout the month of April, and I figured that I should conclude it with a special organization. Today, I'm going to be highlighting the International Institute of Minnesota. This is an organization that's been doing a lot of work to help refugees and immigrants settle down in the Midwestern state, and they've been doing this sort of thing for over 100 years. They've always had the special goal of helping people arriving to America for the first time not just learn English, but also go to college, buy homes, find steady work, and vote in elections, leading them down the path of becoming official U.S. citizens. 2026 has been a very bleak year for the state of Minnesota, and we have seen that very clearly with the footage that has spread across the web. However, you can do a lot to help out the state and the immigrants and refugees that live there by donating some money to the IIMN today. Minneapolis in particular has been extremely rocked by the activity of ICE, and it would mean a lot to the Minnesotan people if you were to visit this website and see what they're all about. You can go to IIMN.org to learn more about this organization's mission and donate your money. Again, that is IIMN.org. So, with all of that discussion out of the way, we can now get into analyzing some new music. I hope you got some eyeliner and spiky handbands to wear, because the sun is up for the sum up. Today, we're getting really folksy, because this video is all about Noah Kahan and his latest record, The Great Divide. Noah Kahan hails from the state of Vermont, so right away I admire him as a fellow New Englander. He signed with Republic Records in his early 20s and began working with high-profile artists such as Julia Michaels and George Ezra. Noah would also put out his first two LPs in 2019 and 2021, respectively. While his music was charting all around the world, his big breakthrough in America really happened with the release of Dial Drunk, a song where Noah recounts calling his ex-girlfriend after going on a wasted bender and getting handcuffed inside a police cruiser. It's pathetic in the best way. This song had a decent chart run in 2023 and put him on more American listeners' radars. He also achieved a follow-up hit called Stick Season, which reached even higher on the Hot 100. Clearly, Noah Kahan has been favorable among so many music fans and has captured the hearts of soccer moms across the land. With the success of his newest single, The Great Divide, which I talked about in January, I'm sure people are dying to know what he's serving with this fourth album. We are going to return to discussing Noah Kahan in just a few moments, but for now, I want to give you my For to Blast for the second half of April. These are singles that I think could do a lot to shake up the charts or really impress listeners, so I hope you are keeping a sharp eye on what I'm discussing for today. This is going to be pretty interesting because we actually have a few former Disney Channel actresses taking up the slots today. So for anybody who's familiar with the mouse, this should be a very fascinating section. I shouldn't waste any more time. Let's just get right into it. This is my For to Blast. The first single on deck is Low Rise Jeans by Demi Lovato. It's been several months since Demi Lovato came out with It's Not That Deep, but I guess she's still in the mood to put out some new material. For this month, she's giving us the steamy Low Rise Jeans. Demi is grooving with another person at the club and lets on that she's feeling their vibe. She makes sure to describe her wardrobe in intimate detail, which includes her jeans. What captures my ears is the melody that almost resembles Martin Garrix's Animals, adding to the dim, sweaty club environment. The atmosphere for this song is meant to be very intimate. You sense this person on the dance floor is extremely close to Demi and feeling the electric chemistry between them. And as expected, Demi lets out some powerful vocals conveying her desires. Since not enough people gave It's Not That Deep the attention it deserved, they can make up for it by turning Low Rise Jeans into a charting hit. This next song kind of surprised me. I Saw Your Face by Malcolm Todd. I'm noticing this new singer named Malcolm Todd is beginning to show up in music discourse. The boy definitely has an interesting voice, and I can't say I'm totally sold on his sound, but I am gelling with his newest single, I Saw Your Face. This song is constructed as a breakup anthem, where Malcolm is wandering around town and finds the girl he was dating before. He quickly turns away before she can notice him, and he admits that it stings for her to not be by his side anymore. But he knows he has to accept that she's walking away. Malcolm also remarks on how the story can't play out like in the movies where he would end up with her in the end. It's ironic because the instrumental feels a lot like a coming-of-age film, where the two romantic leads go through a rough period and mope around while Malcolm is belting away. The electric guitar sounds incredibly youthful, adding to the very simplistic production. I know some reviewers like Spectrum Pulse have animosity towards Malcolm Todd, but there's something about I Saw Your Face that really clicks with me. Now it's time for a single that's been shoved in everyone's faces by this point. Drop Dead by Olivia Rodrigo. It's the triumphant return of Gen Z's favorite pop rock vocalist. The last time Olivia Rodrigo dropped an album was in 2023, and people are intrigued to see what her newest project could have in store. We're getting a taste of that with the lead single, Drop Dead. What strikes me right away is how this is composed as a much happier song from the California artist. Utilizing jumpy synths, Olivia sings about falling head over heels for a man that she found while tracking down on social media. The two then strike up a strong romance, and Olivia fears she could fall to the ground if she places her lips on his. She normally releases more dramatic or furious tunes as singles, but here, the Disney alum is giving us a track with more bliss. It has the same rough production we've always heard from Danielle Nigro, but with a more fluttery feel, adding some clean drums and smooth electric guitars. Drop Dead was not a bad way for Olivia to launch her brand new album cycle. Let's see if she can reach high like a swing. The final single in the For to Blast today is Born to Die by Shaboozey. Shaboozey's year has already been a tremendous journey. He became a first-time Grammy winner and got to perform at the Oscars. Now, Virginia's favorite country singer is returning this year with a new LP. Leading off the project is Born to Die. Opening with an echoing acoustic guitar, Shaboozey sings about realizing he will die someday, but promising to live every single day with passion and glory. He's joined by a fiddler on the pre-chorus, and as the tune escalates, we jump into a slamming beat, and the backup vocalists chant along with the main star as if he's partying in a saloon. Shaboozey is surrounded by his loved ones, and reflects on all the trials and errors that got him to where he is now, that being this triumphant nights. The tambourines after the second chorus really add enough progression to make your heart race. Born to Die has that same electrifying spirit that came with a bar song Tipsy, so I'm praying this earns Shaboozey another platinum record. Be sure to give every single one of those songs a listen because I think they could do a lot to impress you. Although I'm pretty sure a lot of people have been listening to Drop Dead at this point because so many different versions are being shoved in their faces and played on their Spotify pages. But with all of that out of the way, we are now going back to discussing Noah Kahan's The Great Divide. Seeing an artist like Noah Kahan blow up in the past 5 years has been surreal, because folk music has been viewed widely as more of a trend of the early 2010s. Bands like Mumford & Sons and the Lumineers would dominate the airwaves during that period. A lot of it has now been dubbed as millennial bops. In a way, I'm pretty thankful to see Noah achieve all this success because it shows how timeless the genre of folk truly is. I can say there's definitely plenty of hype surrounding The Great Divide, and a lot of it is well deserved. Much of Noah Kahan's appeal is the sort of magic he can produce with just his voice and acoustic guitar. When it's him and that instrument in the recording booth, you feel like you're engaging with his words on an intimate level, soaking in the emotional story he's laying out for the listeners. But oftentimes, this sound plays tricks on you. The production can ramp up into something glamorous and epic, like the opener End of August and the other single, Porchlight. I also love how the album utilizes its percussion. It can give off a stomping sound to evoke passion, but also be gentle and faint when Noah's lyrics need to be in the forefront, specifically on We Go Way Back. It helps that this album recruited folk heavyweights Aaron Dessner and Justin Vernon to assist with the production. That makes sense because I could have sworn that All Them Horses sounded so much like Bon Iver. With these homey instrumentals comes a story about envy and bitterness. The Great Divide shows Noah taking a break from the glamour of entertainment and coming back to visit his hometown, where he reconnects with old friends and family members, Although these interactions aren't exactly pleasant to have, one particular childhood friend acquaintance of his resents how he went on to become a superstar in music, and this makes them revisit a ton of unresolved memories. This tension escalates to a point where, unwilling and able, Noah even offers to fight the other guy in the living room while the TV is on. Like, holy crap. Now, this portion of the record is where my biggest issue lies. The pacing is pretty wonky. Noah spends a lot of time emphasizing how troubled this relationship was, but after a while, it drags on for too long, and you're wishing he would be done hammering in the point already. I have nothing against lengthy albums if they know how to use their time wisely, but there comes a point where the artist should find new territories to explore instead of the same ones for an extended time. But after we make our way through all those songs, we do reach a nice turnaround point. Headed North, which might be my favorite track on the record, is a very stripped down guitar ballad where Noah gives intricate details about his hometown and traveling back to Vermont to visit his loved ones. You can picture him standing right outside his front yard, strumming away as the crickets go off in the distance. We eventually hear Noah learn to value the environment he grew up in and see the beauty in all the people he left to pursue success. It's that tenderness that makes Noah Kahan's music so appealing. You might have to brace yourself for just how long The Great Divide is, but you will still find a ton of wonder in this record. It's as sweet as maple syrup. Yeah, oftentimes it's a real struggle for me to get through an hour-plus record without my eyes suddenly closing, but The Great Divide still has some good material to offer. I'm sure it's gonna hit an emotional nerve for a lot of people who really connect with folk music, especially when it comes to Noah. Now, to close out this video, I'm gonna give you my artist on the rise for the second half of April. This is an artist that's been making music for quite some time already, but I really think they deserve their breakthrough moment soon. It's our last taste of rock music today, so I'm really jazzed to discuss them. And now, I must reveal their name. My artist on the rise for the second half of April is Abby Ozard. Abby Ozard is a rock vocalist who hails from Nantwich, England. She first started publishing material in 2018. She's already released 2 full-length albums in the past 4 years. Digging through Abby Ozard's past singles, I hear a woman who knows how to lay down an aggressive rock melody to convey her intense emotions about parting relationships and anxiety. She can also make great use of robotic vocals to blend with her own voice. Her newest single from this past month is called Backbone. We immediately dive into the vivid instrumental as Abby sings lyrics about feeling ashamed that she doesn't stand up more to the people who see her as weak. Instead, she's always closing off from others and staying indoors, or keeping her thoughts to herself out of fear how her surroundings will respond. I've always dealt with pretty bad anxiety, so I respect the message Abby Ozard is putting out. With all the rock that's been gaining waves recently, maybe you should look into what this British vocalist is all about. Yeah, I really like Abby's spirit and vibe and appeal, so I think she's definitely worth looking into if you're able to. But with all of that said, we are pretty much wrapped up here. Thank you guys so much for joining me on another edition of the Sum Up. I had fun with this one. I hope you did as well. I cannot wait to enter May because that is when the warm season really starts to kick in, all right? As a Northeasterner, it is an absolute blessing to have that sort of temperature hit. And when you have the time, be sure to visit IIMN.org so you can donate some money and show your support to refugees and immigrants. One more time, that is IIMN.org. In the meantime, if you guys want to follow me on social media, be sure to check out my Blue Sky, my Twitch, and my TikTok. Links will be in the description. And that's where we are wrapping up today. My name is Gabriel Jones, and the sun may be setting, but I hope you were able to soak up those drops. Take care.